Robert, Chapter 2. Robert looked down, and at his feet, lying upon the frozen earth, was an infant boy. Without thinking, he dropped his sword and shield, took off his coat and wrapped the child in its fur. "Hello!" he yelled. "Is anybody there? Can anybody hear me?" He listened hard, hoping to hear someone calling back. He waited several moments, but all Robert could hear was the whistle of the wind and the moaning of the trees as they bent back and forth. He held the boy close to his chest, tucked his head down to block his face from the harsh wind and the beating of the heavy snow, and trekked back towards camp. As Robert reached his tent, the wind began to die, as did the heavy snow. The clouds began to shatter, and the wild blue yonder started to show its glorious face, as it was freckled with stars as far as the eye could see. Robert placed the boy inside his tent and started up a small heater. He left the child to rest and warm up from the bitterness of the winter that had finally approached. While the infant slept, Robert got the fire roaring back to life and finally was ready to rest himself. After he had washed himself with a warm, wet towel, Robert walked over to the child. "You poor boy," he said to the babe. The newborn boy opened his eyes and stared at Robert. Robert looked back at him and smiled. Raven black, his eyes ran deep, his small, soft lips a pinch of pink, his wisps of hair blonde like the summer sun. "You're a handsome boy. You're going to be trouble when you're older." Robert laughed at his words as he wiped dirt off the infant's face. He unwrapped the child from his coat, whose body wore mud and soot like war paint, and began washing the child with a small rag. When the bairn was cleaned, he noticed that the boy had a scar on the left side of his chest. "Seems like you've come into this world fighting, little one. You can rest easy now. There's no need to fight any more," Robert told the child. He covered the babe in a cotton sweater and then wrapped him back up in the bison fur. Robert was now exhausted himself and lay down to fall asleep with the child at his side. He kissed the boy on his forehead. "Good night, little warrior. Sweet dreams." Robert's thought weighed on his wife, his daughter, and his unborn son. He wondered where this child's family was. Were they hurt or separated by the storm? Why would they not search night and day for him? His mind soon fell silent, and sleep finally took him. Robert woke to the sound of a baby's fuss. He rolled over to look at the small boy. "What's the matter, little one?"